As the Kansas legislative session begins to come to an end, the undertones of the general session have begun to bubble up to the surface. Many of the issues that have been talked about in the halls and in some committees have now been in front of numerous committees for extensive and further discussion. The budget committees are about to wrap up their proposed agency budgets for the fiscal years 2010 and 2011. On the Senate side, it appears that the Senate is proposing a 2.5% cut to all agency budgets, excluding education. On the House side, they have thus far been adopting the governor's budget. Basically, what this comes down to is two options that they have. Essentially, they can either provide more cuts to education and/or raise taxes. Both measures are being looked at. While the education cuts have not been vocalized very loudly in the State House, those options are out there. However, there are many options out there as far as tax increases go. Some of the options that have been addressed in committees and in bills that have had hearings include the governor's proposal of a 1-cent sales tax increase for the statewide sales tax, also increasing taxes on liquor, tobacco, and just this past week a proposal was introduced that would increase taxes on corn syrup and sugar products, essentially an obesity tax. The other option that is out there that legislators are going to be considering in the upcoming week or two is the option of removing some sales tax exemptions. While none of the bills that have made it through committees thus far include the exemptions that affect the agricultural industry, KLA and other agricultural groups are on top of the issue and making sure legislators understand the importance of these agricultural exemptions. The retail sales tax was created in 1937, and it was to be applied to true retail sales. Therefore, items that are consumed in production or ingredients and component parts are not considered to be a retail sale and should be exempted from the sales tax. Included in that, it could be argued, is the farm machinery and equipment tax exemption. These are the issues and the reasoning that we are providing to legislators down at the Capitol as the legislature begins to wind up their work. In other action that has been occurring at the State House in the past week, the Senate Natural Resources Committee continued their hearing on Flint Hills burning on the resolution that would urge Congress to continue to allow for Flint Hills burning without a smoke management plan. Senate Concurrent Resolution 1623 has been heard extensively in the Senate Natural Resources Committee. This past week, Professor Clinton Owensby from Kansas State University provided answers to numerous questions regarding the ecological and economic benefits of burning, especially on a continual basis. In addition to this, the House Agricultural Committee passed out a bill that would increase dairy fees on distributors and processors in the state. This is necessary in order to continue funding the Kansas Dairy Program within the Kansas Department of Agriculture. This program is important because state inspection must be completed in order for Kansas dairy producers to ship milk interstate and to honor the Interstate Milk Shippers Agreement. Finally, as we look towards next week, the main issues are going to be the issues that we talked about at the beginning. Essentially, they will be working on the budgets as well as looking at potential revenue enhancements and/or tax increases. Basically, as far as revenue enhancements go, the Senate Ways and Means Committee will be looking at a bill that the Kansas Livestock Association supports that would increase Kansas Animal Health Department fees in order to fund the disease control program. In addition to this, some of the other issues that will be discussed are those sales tax increases that I mentioned earlier, in addition to other tax increases, as well as a report on property tax exemptions that will be in front of the Legislative Post-Audit Committee. On top of all of this, the legislature on the Senate side has begun looking at the transportation plan as we look into the future. As part of this plan will be transportation funding and how to fund such a plan. Thus far, not many details are out there as to what the final program could be or whether that has any chance of passing, but the Kansas Livestock Association will continue to monitor those issues as well as all other tax issues that affect the members' common business interests.